What is up, YouTube? So as you guys can see in the title, I will be installing the fog lights. As you guys can see, I already have it on, but the thing is, it's not on the correct way. The reason why I'm saying that is because basically you guys can see my main headlight, it runs by itself, right? So what I did is I installed a fog light and I made my own harness, and that harness is just two wires, positive and negative, and I basically tapped it in with the headlight. That's not the correct way to do it, because you're basically taking some power from that light to power the fog light, and that's not good. It's too much power in one harness. So I'm gonna do it the correct way. I mean, I did it, I ran it for like 2 months and I had no problems, but I feel guilty each time looking at it. And sometimes when I just want to leave these day running lights on and then leave this off and then have the fog lights on, but I can't, because these two work together. So I can't turn that off and then leave that one on. They basically turn on together, which I don't like. So what I'm gonna do is do it the correct way. Don't mind the mess, guys. I got leaves in here, I got everything, you name it. But what I'm gonna do right now, guys, is I bought a kit on Amazon. All right, before I even start showing you guys the kit, what you guys want to need right now is electric tape, heat shrink. What you're gonna need for sure is one of these step drill bits. I didn't have. I went to Harbor Freight and bought them. You don't need these, but I'm gonna use it. The reason why you're gonna need that is because you're gonna make a hole in the existing dash. So I'm gonna show you the kit I got. It's pretty simple. Before I lay out the harness and show you guys how it's gonna work, I want to show you guys the button. You just can see this button. For the ones that have OEM, they have the fog light button here, same color as this. It literally says fog light, or has like a fog light logo on it. So what I'm gonna do is make it similar to the OEM, but the thing is, it's not, because the button does not match or doesn't have a logo on it. So it's whatever, honestly, I don't really care. In order to do it the OEM way, you need the OEM harness, or you can make your own OEM harness, and then from there you do have to reflash the BCM, which I don't want to do because they're gonna charge you, I don't know how much, 200, 100, or they might not even reflash it for you because how old the truck is. So I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna save myself money and time. The only thing that's not gonna look OEM is this, because you know it's gonna look a little odd. What I'm gonna do is make a hole. I'm gonna mark it in the dead center, and then from there use this. All right, guys, ignore the mess. I do need to clean the hood. So basically, this is a switch. I'm gonna snake this through in the dash. You guys can see my wire right there. You see that wire? And then from there they give you this. I'm gonna screw this in somewhere around right here, and then after that they give you an option to run it straight directly to the battery, because it has their own fuse. But I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is ground this. I'm gonna find a good ground around the body and then put it there. And then this, I'm gonna find a good fuse, probably the fog light fuse, because I do have one. I'm gonna look into that. And after that, once you have that connected and everything all wired in, pretty sure, as you guys see that harness right there, that runs across. I'm gonna follow that harness, and that goes up all the way up there. That's how I'm gonna fish it to. But besides that, it should be easy. All right, guys, so I disconnected it. As you guys can see, I disconnected it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fish this inside. I'll be disconnecting from the inside. Also, the reason why is because I don't want this to be exposed by the weather outside, so I'm gonna leave the connections inside. If you have a coat hanger or anything, tie it to this end and then pull it through there. I'm gonna be using an antenna, an old antenna I don't use anymore from this truck. I had it just laying there, and I'm gonna do this off camera because it's hard doing this with one hand, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, so I got it in, no pun intended. All right, you guys can see the antenna right there. I put it through that wire right next to the speaker wire, and as you guys can see, I pulled it out right here like that. So right now I'm gonna tie this cable with electric tape, and then I'm gonna pull it in. For it to make it easier on me, I'm gonna remove this, I don't know, it's like a brace. All right, guys, we got it out the way. You're supposed to have 4, I only had 3 because I think I lost one of them. All right, guys, so it goes up as so. You just can see they have holes that just go up. You just gotta pull it, be careful not to break them. All right, guys, you guys can see I have it taped up. All right, guys, so this is not gonna work. I just figured out what's the problem. This is one go in. I would have to make the hole bigger, which I don't want to do. So what I'm gonna do right now is probably cut this end and then fish it with this, and then splice them back together. I gotta shorten this either way, guys, because look, this relay is gonna be around, it's gonna be on that box. It's gonna be right here. This is all the cable I'm gonna have left over. Either way, if I cut it here, I could cut it from all the way here and shorten it. So that's a win-win for me. I'm gonna have to pull it back out and then cut it basically. All right guys, and just like that, I got it in. I taped it up. So right now, what I'm gonna do now, this is the end I had to cut off in order for it to go through. Take out the antenna, take out the tape I put, and then splice, heat shrink everything back on. All right guys, so it's all spliced up, which is ready to connect to the other harness for the button. But right now, what I'm gonna do before I fish that all the way up, before I take everything apart, because you gotta take this apart. Right now, I'm gonna mark where I want it. I'm gonna grab like a marker or a Sharpie and then mark the dead center, and then make a little hole with one of these bits. And then once I do that, I'm gonna do this last. All right guys, so I got it all marked up where I want the button to be at. And the reason why I'm gonna actually do the hole right now is because right now it's on a sturdy position where I could just drill a little hole. And just like that guys, I made the hole. I used the little one first and then I used the big one. That was just like a little guide, so like when this goes in, it's just in the dead center. Pull from the side first, and then from the top, and then you should pull it out. All right guys, so I pulled this out from the upper. I started from the top and it came out. So right now what I'm gonna do is disconnect the harness that holds this. This is basically, you just pinch it and it pulls right out. It comes out from right here. And then this one has a little clip. I don't know if you guys see that, but you pull this out towards you and then it comes out just like that. That gives you more space to fish anything you want from there. All right guys, so I got it out. What's holding it back is this scoop right here, this plastic scoop. They have it on each end. So basically when it goes in, it clicks in. You just can see there's a connection that goes up here, but there's nothing underneath. So what I have to do now is probably make a hole here big enough for the cable. All right guys, so you could take these off, but take a picture of it right now before you even do, because you don't want to mix them up. You shouldn't though, but I have a feeling you could mix up white and black because they're both on the edge. But yeah, I'm gonna take them off so I can make the hole in here and then place it in there and then probably connect it from there. I recommend you centering it first with the bezel because the bezel does steal like about half an inch each corner. Just letting you guys know. Right now, I'm gonna use a step drill bit. I'm not sure how much, so I'm gonna do it little by little until it fits really good. All right guys, as you can see, I got the hole. I did a small one in the back so the cables go through. So right now, before I even plug this in, because it is a tight fit, I don't know if you guys can see. Those clips are going, once I push it in, they're gonna open and it won't come out. It will come out, but I'll struggle to get it out. Just because if you guys look at the space behind there, there's barely any to put your hands in there. So what I'm gonna do right now, before I even push it in, is get the wire through. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I mean. Since I unplugged it from right here, I'm gonna run the cables first. But yeah guys, I recommend doing that first. There we go, I got it in. Just like that guys. Just gotta clean it up a little and that's about it. Just gonna see wires go in there perfectly. Like I said guys, everything clears in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Time to put everything how it was. You guys don't have to see that. All right guys, so I got everything back together except the bezel. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna hide the wire, follow an existing wire and then zip tie it to there, and then I'll show you guys how it looks at the end. All right guys, so you guys can see the loom. I have it zip tied. There was extra wire, so I tied them all together and I put them on the corner by the fuse or by the side panel fuse. You guys can't even see it besides these red ugly cables, which I'm gonna reroute sooner or later. So we got everything all set guys. I already connected this to the main harness on front, so the inside's all set. That's all you have to do. All right guys, so I kind of got it sort of figured out. This is where I'm gonna place the relay, where my hand's at, like around somewhere there, away from the clutch filler. Yes, my trick is stick shift, so some of you guys don't have that. I would recommend it right there, but I'm gonna put like in between. All right guys, so I got the wiring problem all solved. So that's my ground. I got the relay right here for the fog light. The box wasn't clearing and it was mashing my cable, so I had to make a little indent for the cable to come out, and that's where I'm gonna lead the cable into here. I'm gonna plug this in last because right now what I gotta do now, all right, so right now I gotta wire the fog lights. I gotta see if this is gonna be enough. Either way, they have cables, so it should be enough for both sides. So right now what I'm gonna do is probably run this, zip tie it to this, and then zip tie it to here, and so on, and go down. And from there I'll show you guys how I wired everything. So we got everything for the power ready. This is where I routed my fog lights. You just can see I zip tied it to there. I zip tied it following all the way down there to this wire harness. and then I brought it down here. You can see I didn't cut the zip ties because I wanted to show you guys where I zip tied it to. So I brought it from down here so you guys can see it going this way, all the way where my finger's at. It went down, zip tied it to this harness, zip tied it to this harness, brought it this way. There's an existing harness for the radiator, I believe it is, if not the headlight. I followed that all the way along, all the way here, zip tied it to this, zip tied it to this, and I zip tied it to this support bracket on the bumper, and from there I wired it to the fog lights. Same thing with this one, zip tied it to the bracket, and I connected it as well. Fog lights are all set and connected. Now I just got to cut all these zip ties. Just wanted to show you where I wired it. I tapped in the power with the fog light fuse. It's the lower left on the fog light relay. That's where I connected it at. I didn't put an add-on fuse. The reason why is because this one already has a fuse. As you guys see in the kit, it comes with their own fuse. I have it hidden inside, so if it ever burns out, I just pop this out and then replace that one fuse. That's cool, it lights up. All right guys, so I was having a problem. It seems that this relay has to have ground contact, so I bolted it on the frame right there, or the fender, just because it was red. So that's where I bolted it up on. Like, this was working and everything, but the LEDs weren't lighting up. I had to cut this open, and one of the pins had came out. I don't know because I pulled it or it came like that, so I had to pull it back in. That could be the problem. That's why the negative wasn't working. But since I already found out the problem, I don't want to mess with it right now. I'm gonna leave it where it's at because you can't really see it right there unless you really look into it. So that's the only problem I ran into, but everything else is the same. I got the power from the fog light. It has a fuse, so there's no worry. If you blow out the fuse, it'll blow from right here. It won't blow from here. Alright guys, so it's been a few days after I did install the fog lights. After that I installed power windows, and after that I installed power locks. I did a bunch of stuff, but I want to show you guys the final result on how the fog lights came out. They're finally separated from the main headlight, so I could drive basically with just my L light on and my fog lights on, which is pretty dope. Alright guys, so this is on right now. This is all the lights on. Back then, before I even did the relay, before I even did the switch, I had the fog lights working. As you guys can see, I had them directly tapped in with the top headlights, which is good and bad in the same way. The reason why is there's nothing wrong as long as you know how to wire it properly. But second, what could happen is that's too much power powering those two lights, which can blow a fuse, which luckily that didn't happen with me. But I wanted to do it the correct way, which was using a button separately, and it came out good. All right, let me show you guys my wiring. This is what I have here. Alright, so ignore this relay. This is for my window switches. This will be installed in another video. This wasn't here. I'm just letting you guys know this is like days after. I don't know if you guys can see that relay. That's in the same place where I put it. That relay tapped to the ground. In the corner right where the red wire is right there, you guys can see that. I have the ground there to that relay, and then from there, from the relay, I got power from the fog light amp right here. That is in here. Fog light lamp, you just can see, is basically that. And this truck doesn't have fog light, so it's completely fine that being tapped in there. And you guys can see that black wire right here. That black wire is for my window switches. I will need an inline fuse tappers, which is this. But that's about it, guys. It's pretty easy, guys. All you had to do was get power in the fuse, and only the hardest part was just trying to get it in the cab. As you guys can see, I got it in the Gorman. Once you get it in there, everything else is pretty simple. And it works as should, and I'm happy how it came out, honestly. It's just those little details that, you know, matter a lot. I will need to get new side markers. My camera's messed up, that's why it has a lot of glare, guys. I did clean it, but I think my camera is messed up. I didn't bring my GoPro either, so yeah, sorry if the quality's bad. But yeah, guys, as you guys can see, the switches right here. So once you turn off the truck, since I have it on the fog light, so once I turn this off, everything's completely off. Surprisingly, when you press the button, it'll still turn on even if the truck is off. As long as you have that off, nothing will happen. I haven't had a problem yet with anything. I've been driving fine, and recently I installed power windows and power locks, and no problems at all still. My battery hasn't drained or anything. Just can see power windows. That's in another video, probably after this one. Keep a lookout for that if you guys are interested in that, unless you already have power windows. But yeah, like I said, guys, you could probably do this to your car or whatever. Just showing you guys how I did it to my truck. All right, guys, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. If it's your first time watching, make sure you guys subscribe. It really means a lot. You don't have to. You could dislike, like, whatever. Anything's appreciated, honestly. I just wanted to share this out there because I know there's people that probably want fog lights. I have no clue to install it, and I just wanted to show you guys how I did it. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be making more content, and I'll be uploading whenever I can. It's gonna be a banger, and just make sure you guys subscribe for more bangers like this. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.